So today we have with us a great personality in travel trade, a gentleman with over 3 decades of experience, responsible in buying, selling companies, have worked at the largest organization of India, has built business, man known for his go-getting attitude, has never worked on discounts, and somebody who has pushed boundaries every time something happened. Today is the best opportunity we have with him. I'm talking about Mr. Naveen Kundu, and a personality also known to transform the mice business in India. He's handled from very small numbers to the largest number one can think with panache. And thank you, sir. Thank you for coming in today with us. Welcome, Mr. Kundu.
Thank you, Vikas, and thank you, Anil. Pleasure to be with you.
So, Naveen, you have seen everything. You have seen how Ebola hit us. You saw how Corona hit us. You saw last year what happened with Operation Sindoor happened. And now we are at the new crisis. You know exactly what happens in the trade. What is your take? What's happening? What should the travel trade do?
So, because you're forgetting what happened even before that. You have had 9/11, and you had SARS, you had
the swine flu, the bird flu.
2008 Lehman Brothers.
Yeah.
You had a 2013 dollar collapse.
Yeah.
Rupee collapse in India.
9/11 happened.
You have to understand the fact that the business that we are in is a vulnerable business, and it's the first that gets impacted. There is no, it's not a rocket science. We all know about it. But what we also know is that the whole industry then recalibrates and comes out with new solutions. And we learn from every episode. Now, it's very unfortunate that we are the only ones who have to keep learning all the time. But in more cases than not, we have evolved successfully. And the reason is that we are a very resilient community. I mean, I don't really know, or I don't think of any industry in the world that could have been, or that is as vulnerable as the travel trade is. So we know we are going through we are always vulnerable to episodes like epidemics, pandemics, diseases, financial crisis, recessions, and the wars and the operations, whatever you call them today, the wars, the operations. But we have to understand one thing as an industry, that we've always come out successful. And even in this situation, if I look at the current situation now, the whole industry has to understand and think that this is going to be the new normal now. Looking at the geopolitical landscape around the world, this is going to be the new normal. We've seen various escalations in the last 1 or 2 years, rather 3 years, ever since. If you take Russia, Ukraine into account, I mean, you can imagine Russia, such a vibrant economy, the tourism was flourishing there overnight. All the leading brands from Russia vanished overnight. The hotel brands, the travel brands, the banking brands, the credit cards, and they were taken away from the SWIFT. So, but the world goes on, the business goes on. So we have to learn to quickly recalibrate our product line, our thinking, our imagination, and we need to position ourselves accordingly with not only with the leisure travelers, but also with the corporate travelers. Now, what happens with the corporate travelers is that the corporate is a little more sensitive business than the leisure business. In the leisure business, what happens is if you have to really go and travel, you will probably cut down there and there. You will immediately move a destination from an international to a domestic, or from a long haul to a short haul, or a short haul to a long haul, and vice versa. But what happens with corporate is corporate business is very sensitive in nature. Because first of all, we have to understand, in the mice and corporate business, travel is a discretionary spend. It's not a necessary spend.
Well said.
And when it's a discretionary spend, what happens is they can always hold back their budgets and say, look, we'll look later, we'll spend later. So there could be short-term impact, but I don't see much happening long-term. As far as I know, and we're able to educate corporates that this entire geopolitical landscape of the world is changing. Therefore, we need to be ready. Now, what COVID taught us was, before COVID, if you see, and if you, I'm sure you understand, and you've been in the business of MICE yourself, that the duration from the time a corporate would budget a group to an execution would be about 3 to 5 months, minimum 6, maximum 8 months. But immediately after COVID, we were seeing groups moving in the duration of 20 days to 45 days. So you have to get everything organized quickly because the RFQ would come to you in a day. They would give you 24 hours till the negotiations would happen. And I realized, and I was an active part of the industry of the company at that time, and I realized the time is the window has shrunk considerably. And even now, the same thing is going to happen.
You think
We expect
just post COVID, there was a revenge travel taking place, but here it is economy crisis. You think still there will be a revenge travel taking place?
So because travel is still taking place, if I would say it's not that travel is completely stopped. The travel is taking place, domestic travel is taking place, international travel to the Far East destinations, to Japan, to some places in Europe is taking place. I'm not saying the travel is not taking place. However, what we'll have to see is what happens to the fuel prices and the energy crisis that is on the doorsteps of hitting us. It's on the verge of hitting us. It has not hit us completely as yet. But if the war continues, we were expecting the war to get over maybe in 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
It's already over 5 weeks now. Today, actually, it's 5 weeks. And we don't see any signs of it getting over, or that the escalation is getting worse. So we will have to see what happens to the energy prices, what happens to the Brent crude, the ATF, the LPG, because everything has an impact. And if I tell you, the domestic business is already struggling because most of the hotels have stopped banquet business. Restaurants have stopped. Chinese restaurants are completely off the business because they need a lot of LPG to
Run their restaurants.
And so there is already a struggle. There's already a struggle. And if this war doesn't end anytime soon, or we don't see a solution to the Strait of Hormuz, I would say that then the supply chain gets impacted. Now, in COVID times, the supply chain didn't get impacted. It was an infection. So the moment it got over, and I had even, if you see and go to the podcasts and the Google Meets I did at that time, I said travel will come back very strongly, and MICE will come back even stronger. People were thinking that MICE is like a story over. MICE is a story over. It's going to be all virtual meets and virtual events. And I had said very clearly, no, virtual events and virtual meets will not be. It will be a new normal for some small short-time meetings, but MICE is not going to go away.
Yeah.
MICE will never go away.
What will be the new normal now? Does it look like to be a new normal coming up?
Destination calibration will happen. People will always now look at, any vulnerable area will be avoided for the next couple of years by all the corporates, and they will not want to announce an incentive program or a conference or a meeting around the Gulf area. Not anytime soon. I don't see it anytime soon. And so your Far East will be the biggest winner.
Mr. Kundu, do you think this is the time for India? It's an opportunity for India. Can India actually benefit as an alternative destination for MICE?
And there's always an opportunity. When did India never have an opportunity?
So how to grab it? Where we are missing?
If you see in COVID, an average room rate that an Indian used to be lower than the inbound tourist room rate. What happened after? The reason inbound is still not come to the pre-COVID numbers is because domestic travelers traveled and realized the power of traveling in India.
Yeah.
And they started giving higher rates. And weddings to wedding markets certainly went through the roof. It is an opportunity for India, but what is important is how much can we capitalize on it when it comes to inbound travel. I have written it in my book also, Reclaiming Incredible, that whenever there is opportunity, India loses out on the opportunity. We have to figure out to go, this is the right time that we have to launch a campaign. The safest nation in the world is India.
Yes.
And a campaign should go live on social media, on digital, and on televisions across Europe and Americas, and position India as a safe country. Not
Fine.
long back, we were considered to be a very unsafe country because of whatever happened here in terms of women not being safe and blah blah blah. But this is the right time for us to say India is traveling normally. We've not had an energy. There's no price increase
Energy crisis.
in the entire country. We are not yet seeing a major energy crisis. And everything is happening as if there's no war happening anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So we are at a right position right now to go and market India. But will we market India is a question we all have to answer.
One more thing I wanted to ask you, very interesting thing. Middle East has a very large cruising industry, which I'm sure will not be operating now. Do you see India can benefit as a cruising destination also? Can we be the Miamis of Americas in India?
Well, we can be, Vikas, but do we have an intent to be? Building good ports. We don't have the kind of ports America or Middle East has. Unless and until we have wonderful ports and we have seamless operation at those ports, I don't see it happening anytime soon, to be very, very clear.
Also,
And as far as the cruising thing coming back to Middle East is concerned, next season there will be operation. Maybe this season is gone, but and if the war ends anytime soon, they will still take 3, 4, 5 months to get to normal. And I think it's only a matter of time when the cruising industry will return back to Middle East, and they will.
something very interesting we were talking some time back, saying that now India has approximately 100 airports operational put together. And we are very close to Central Asia and Middle East and also Far East, as we say in our language. Do you think India would become a transit hub? With a
Well, again, you will need to read my book, Vikas, Reclaiming Incredible. I've given a full chapter. An opportunity lost in our country was when Singapore, Dubai, Malaysia, and Thailand took over as the East meets West hub. And India lost that long time back. This is the time see, there will be a time when it will happen. How soon it happens, I'm not too sure. We had an opportunity immediately after COVID to build it up. We tried to build it up, but looking at the aviation scene in India, I really have my doubts that we will become a complete East meets West hub anytime soon.
And as we see in India, the infrastructure of MICE is coming up. I'm not talking outbound, but I'm talking inbound and within domestic. We've understood that domestic will happen now. But India as a MICE hub, what your take on that? You've been a champ of MICE.
Well, great. Well, it's a great opportunity for us right now, because I'll tell you where. If I have seen the intent in the current dispensation in India, it has been on meetings in India. And there has been testimony of it. If you look at a wonderful job they did with the G20, they showcased India as a great MICE destination. Then the AI summit that happened recently,
Yes.
it was organized in the shortest possible time, and look at the way, and magnificent. It was magnanimous.
Yeah.
The show was magnanimous. You had hotels selling at 45 to 50% above their normal average rates. it was a massive show of strength that India showcased during AI Summit. So yes, one thing I can tell you is that India is going to be the future MICE destination within Asia Pacific and for global companies as well. But it also depends
Yeah.
on how well we market India and how much we empower Indian operators business events out of India. So government has to show the intent to go and position India as a MICE destination and bid overseas for large scale events.
One more thing, there is a present situation. It looks like the airline policies are changing very fast. There is a chaos of some sort. The present state of a MICE operator in India must be going through a little turbulent time. What is your advice to them?
Well, they've learned it hard way during the pandemic. But right now, what is happening is in pandemic, they were safeguarded with the refunds and with adjustments of the advances they had paid to the overseas operators, hotels, and airlines. In the current situation, what has happened is that I'm not too sure what's happening between the corporate and the MICE operator because I'm not in the active business of MICE right now. But I can tell you what would be happening. And it's a no-brainer to figure out that an airline will come back saying that, look, our destination is, our airline is, we are operating as an airline. The destination will say there is no travel advisory and we are not issuing any travel advisory. So our hotels are operational, our country is functioning fine. But the corporate on the other end will say, look, I cannot risk my people because these are my channel partners or my employees or my dealers or all my influencers. So it's a catch-22 position. This is where I always say the associations that we have across India need to stand up and support a cause for the MICE companies to ensure that they don't lose money at this stage. Unfortunately, I fear that they may lose money.
As you rightly said, there's an opportunity for India. What will be your advice for the states who are looking for international MICE to India? What all they should do? Do you think this is the right time to bid an international market for India, and they should go all out to support?
Another just said that this is just the right time for us to go and start positioning ourselves as a safe destination, a destination for meetings and events, and as a leisure destination. So this is just the right time. And this is the time the operator, the PCOs, and the government need to come together, do a strategic discussion, and launch all kinds of campaigns overseas to position India. This is just the right time.
So there are few takeaways we should
And by the way, one more thing, I'll take 1 more minute. It's also my advice to operators in India and the PCOs. While I understand they get very flamboyant promoting outbound tourism and going overseas, but it's time their own country beckons them to promote Indian destinations to the corporates and say, look, we've seen various episodes happening around the world. It's time that majority of the conferences happen in India because the Indian money remains in India. It doesn't go abroad.
Yeah.
Look at what's happening to the dollars right now. The dollar is about 94, 95. It came down to 92. Again, it's back to 93, 94. And how can you even anticipate what it is going to be maybe 4 weeks from now? People, the financial pundits are pitching at 100 rupee a conversion. Now that's very expensive.
Yeah.
So we need to, through this medium, I would like to approach and tell everybody that look, position India. I know you guys feel wonderful traveling overseas. I'm taking 1,000 people, 500 people to this place, to that place. It all sounds good and rosy, but it's also become very competitive. And domestic business, they have a huge opportunity in the domestic MICE. It's time that they stand up as a community and go and tell the corporates that the focus should be India. Meetings and conferences and events in India and within India. We have the infrastructure, we have the airline, we have the airports, we have the convention centers, we have large-scale hotels, and we can manage it now.
I
So
think
this is the time. I would say that this is just the right time to go and tell the corporate world and to the conference industry that this is the time to stand up for your own country. Because we don't need our dollars to go out. Because in any case, every dollar going out makes dollar more expensive. So it's time that we keep the dollar in India, we keep the foreign exchange in India, and tell the corporates to travel more and more within India and use your own facilities.
I think the purpose for this small, quick podcast is achieved. Naveen came out with a fantastic thing for us
True.
and for the trade. Also to the MICE operator, what do you call it, a navigatory note. And at the same time, the best part is that when the industry leaders talk complete positive,
True.
that's something which is very, very incredible. And I wish you all the best for your book. I hope it sells everywhere. It is available in all the tourism institutes, education institutes, so that all the students are able to take benefit of that. Thank you, Naveen, for being with us.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for
Thank you
insights.
for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are watching Travel World Online.